The president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, has announced that he will release millions of foxes into the country's dry deserts. Yes, you heard that right, foxes. But the question is, where will these millions of foxes come from? How will they be raised? And most importantly, why release them into the desert at all? We'll uncover all of that in this video. So stay with us till the end. Experts were consulted, research was done, and the findings were surprising. In desert regions, foxes could play a role that no machine ever could. A fox is not only clever, it's a natural cleaner. Wherever it lives, it purifies the soil, eating harmful insects, waste, and dangerous bacteria. In short, it's nature's own recycling machine. Traoré realized that if foxes could adapt to the desert, they might actually bring dead land back to life. Land that humans had destroyed through neglect. The project was massive. The government announced the creation of special breeding centers across the country's desert zones. The second phase of this mission, called Eco Desert Rehabilitation, has already begun. In this phase, local farmers are being trained to work hand-in-hand with nature, learning how to protect the land alongside the foxes. Before plowing their fields, farmers now check carefully to make sure there are no fox burrows nearby. This new bond between humans and animals has become a powerful symbol of harmony, a partnership between people and the planet itself. And, friends, the results are already unbelievable. In the northern regions of Burkina Faso, places where rain was once almost non-existent, the temperature has dropped by 2 degrees. The soil has become softer, sandstorms have weakened, and small natural water ponds have started forming on their own. Locals say that wherever the foxes have settled, grass has begun to grow again, birds have returned, and the once silent nights are now filled with the sounds of life. One farmer said something that touched everyone's heart. Before, we used iron plows to break the soil. Now, the fox's paws do it for us. When Ibrahim Traoré heard those words, his eyes filled with tears. Because this wasn't just a success story, it was nature's victory. But to truly understand Traoré, you have to see how he thinks. He's not like ordinary politicians. It's made up of young volunteers, wildlife experts, and farmers, all united by a single mission to protect the foxes, guard their habitats, and keep hunters far away. Friends, when the news of this project spread across the world, many Western experts laughed. Some mocked it, saying, "Foxes can't change deserts." Others dismissed it as nothing more than a political stunt. He turned the project into an economic opportunity by setting up ecotourism zones around the fox regions, places where visitors can come watch wildlife up close and experience nature's rebirth. This not only creates jobs for locals but also gives a boost to the national economy. Thousands of foxes were raised there in a natural environment, with artificial burrows, small water reserves, and the same diet of insects and natural matter they eat in the wild. Wherever foxes go, they dig holes and tunnels. Those holes store rainwater, which later helps seeds to sprout. When seeds sprout, grass grows. So foxes won't just survive, they'll bring an entire ecosystem back to life. You might wonder, where did Ibrahim Traoré get this idea? Locals say, wherever foxes live, grass now grows. Birds have returned, and the once silent nights are now filled with life again. One farmer said. We used to plow the land with iron tools, now, the fox's paws have done it for us. Hearing this, Ibrahim Traoré had tears in his eyes. Because this wasn't just success, it was nature's victory. Traoré's vision is unlike that of ordinary politicians. He believes that real power doesn't lie in weapons or armies, but in friendship with nature. He says, we can kill our enemies with guns, but only nature can save our future generations. To protect this mission, a new Rangers force has been created, made up of youth, animal experts, and farmers. Their duty is to guard the foxes, preserve their habitats, and prevent poachers from getting near them. When this news spread worldwide, many Western experts laughed at it. Some said foxes can't change deserts. Others called it a political stunt. But a year later, satellite images proved them wrong. Where once there were dust storms, now green patches began to appear. The moisture level of the soil increased, and Traoré's dream began to turn into reality. The UN Environment Programme, UNEP, has now called this initiative a model of nature-based restoration. Experts say that if successful, Burkina Faso's deserts could turn into forests within 10 years, restoring the nation's greenery and hope. Traoré didn't just make this an environmental project. He turned it into an economic opportunity. New ecotourism zones are being developed around the fox habitats, where visitors can see wildlife up close. This will create jobs and strengthen the national economy. Alongside this, a unique initiative called the Fox Bank Project has also begun, ensuring that the legacy of these soldiers of nature continues for generations. In fact, he was inspired by an experiment in northern China, where foxes and wolves were reintroduced to the Gobi Desert. A few years later, the soil's fertility returned, temperatures dropped, sandstorms decreased, and grasslands began to reappear. Traoré decided to apply that same concept, but on a much larger scale, in Burkina Faso. He declared, we will not save our nation through humans alone, but through nature's own soldiers. Along with the foxes, the plan also included mass tree planting. For every 100 foxes, 500 trees would be planted to provide shade and natural habitats. It may surprise you to know that over 400,000 foxes have already been bred and released into various desert areas. Each fox is equipped with a GPS microchip so the government can monitor their movements. Whenever an area begins to show signs of recovery, more foxes are transferred there to maintain balance.